Hello YouTube. Back again. It's a beautiful sunny day today. You can see the sun coming in through the window. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. Today I wanted to talk about if you're a senior citizen or if you're handicapped or if you're disabled and you are forced to leave your buggy in location. I mean, if you like me, you got all your stuff put up, packed away in your one location, and you're ready to stay here, but you were forced to leave. I mean, let's say with me, it'd probably be like a fire, or maybe you outnumbered by hostile gangs or something like that, and you got to go. And the city, staying in the city is no longer an option. All right, so you must go into the woods. Now, for me, I was never planning on going into the woods, but I can do the woods if I have to, because for me, I'm no good in the woods. Like I have mobility problems. I can move, I can walk. I use a cane. I can use a walking stick. I could probably even use crutches. I got those around. I mean, to get around, but it would be hard. Just if somebody was blind, it would be hard for them to get around. You had to have some help. And me, if I have to go in the woods, I had to have help. But cause see, let me tell you, in the woods, it's a lot of risk factors for me. And then I would have to know how long I'm gonna be in the woods, because I'm bugging out. I don't have a plan on where I would go. I know what woods I would go to. I would head for Amish country. That's my plan. If something like that and I had to go into the country, I would head for Amish country. I would try to stay away from the state parks and the national parks, because they're going to be flooded with people. Okay, and another problem, you got mosquitoes, especially if it's in the summer or the spring. You got mosquitoes, you got snakes, you got spiders, you got ticks, you got zombie deer. We got zombie deer up here. You got rabbit raccoons, you got bears in some parts of the state. Bears are everywhere. You got coyotes everywhere. Coyotes, they coming into the city now. I know they always been in the suburbs, but now they coming all the way down to the city. And then you got some lions, mountain lions, and you got those wildcats. So, it's dangerous out in the woods. If you're a person like me from the city, you don't know about the woods. I mean, it's terrifying obstacles out there, and things are going to be wild. I mean, you got to understand the risk that when you go out there. Like I told you once before in a video that one of the things you got to do and you got to know is where you're going. Okay? You take the wrong route and you end up someplace you ain't supposed to be, you might as well kiss everybody goodbye, because you're going to get killed out there if you supposed to go east and you end up going north. You see? So you got to understand where you're going. I mean, because there would be no help. I mean, there's no help coming, because that's why you out there, because there wasn't any help. So you got to make sure you know about that. And a lot of people, especially people that just sit around, see, I'm in the city, and I say this just about every video, to let you know that I'm not on a homestead and I'm not on a farm, and I'm somewhere around thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So I'm just saying that when you go out there, you got to make sure you got the right clothes and the right footwear, because I mean, you can't go out there with sandals on or Crocs. You can't. And then some tennis shoes you can't wear out there. You gotta be ready. You gotta go out there. You gotta have some kind of safe footwear. Like when I was working at the post office, you had to have certain footwear. Your footwear had to be made of leather. You couldn't have canvas. You got to have, your footwear had to be made out of leather, preferably shoes and boots. I mean, they did have tennises you could buy because of the weather. But I'm just saying, you got to have the right clothes. You got to have the right footwear, because see, that could affect your ability to survive out in the woods too. I mean, I see. And another thing, you get lost out there and you run into other people. Do you go up there and talk to them? tell them you lost, you need help, or do you stay away from them? See, that's why you ran out in the woods in the first place, because you was afraid of people. So see, that's another problem you're gonna have. And then another one, you're not trained. I mean, how many people actually go in the woods? I was a Boy Scout, and we had 2 overnight camping trips that I can remember when I was a Boy Scout. Just 2. I mean, and we went on one and it rained all day long. We couldn't do nothing. We had to actually go over to they had cabins, but we were supposed to sleep in tents. We had to actually go over to the cabins and spend one day in the cabins. But we had 2 overnight trips, and that's it. Like I say, I do fish, and when I usually go fishing, I stay overnight. Other than that, I took my wife camping once. We slept in a tent, and we stayed a weekend at a camp place out there in Geauga County. We was in the tent. We with some more people, and other than that, that's about as far as my outdoor training goes. I mean, I go to the parks and stuff up here, but as far as actually being out there in the woods, like somebody like the Unpaved Explorer, John Coffey, he goes out to those woods all the time, and a lot of people, they live out by woods. So I don't. So like I said, what if somebody else is in your spot? What if you find this place and you out there and you say, well, I knew about this old cabin years ago and we decided to go out there because I knew about it, And what if you get there and there's already people there? Now you got an issue. Do you try to blend in? Or they might not want you to blend in. Or do you have a fight on your hands? So, like I say, being handicapped in the woods is not going to be easy, because a lot of times, you might have to go up inclines, no steps. You might have to just, like I say, creep up a valley and go up like a small hill or something like that. So sometimes you might have to stay off the main paths to avoid the people that you're afraid of, that you're running from it. But other than that, like I said, I just didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to mention that the risk factors, that if you do bug out and you handicap, I mean, depending on what your handicap is, see, mine is mobility, and if you really have a disability problem, like you're in the wheelchair or something like that, it's going to be even harder on you, because see, if you had to leave off the main trails, I mean, it's going to be really hard on you. And like I say, being blind out in the woods, you have a better chance to survive than most people, because you learn to use your other skills and stuff like that. You got the hearing impaired and everything, so it's going to be hard. And there's a lot of Americans that have this ability that we might have to leave the city, because like I said, there'll be no information. I mean, let's say, information is fluid. You change it every moment, so we won't be able to get the correct information, and we won't know when to leave the city and when not to leave the city. So basically, you're gonna have to choose on your own. Okay. All right, and let me throw you out some news that happened. I heard that Canada's still got the borders closed with the United States, until we get our vaccine underway. The Russian Navy moved within striking distance of Alaska. They still in international waters, but they right there. They right there. And let's see. The United States is going to open up those bases in Norway that's vacant for the Norwegian Navy vacated. We're going to open them up and put our troops there. And I heard Canada is trying to do some kind of FEMA camp type of stuff. I don't know what exactly they doing with those camps. Maybe if you're Canadian and you watching my channel, you could just tell me more about those camps that they supposed to be building up there, because I'm not sure what they're going to be. And then another thing, sleeper cells. They're going to be trying to knock out the grid for the election in Iran and China. They're going to operate and wake up their sleeper cells for the election. So be ready. On my next video, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to try to talk about the AI, We try to talk about the Terminator or something like that. I mean, but you know what it is, because this is gonna be affecting us and what we're gonna be doing. All right. I see everybody later. Thank you, YouTube.